looks like the stream is up. So, welcome to sound check, y'all. Just making sure all the settings and everything are all good. If you're just tuning in, this is my new quote-unquote streaming setup. Decided to switch some stuff around. If you couldn't tell, normally when I did my streams before, I literally had the desk on like the opposite side. So I literally just flipped this desk to face the window instead of the door. So never mind the scuffness of the bed and that can of Monster on my fridge and the other stuff as well. This is just a little test stream just to make sure all the settings and everything are good. Hopefully they're good. I don't know. Just looking at the displays and stuff there, I do notice a little bit of lag with the video footage. I'm not sure if you guys are getting that as well, but it might be something I'll look into. I guess maybe I'll have to tweak some settings or something. I don't know. I'm still new with this whole like USB streaming from my camera, so forgive me. But yeah, man, you know, it feels pretty darn good. Now it looks like we're getting some peeps in, which is good. We're good to go and send out the links and all that fun stuff. So welcome to Soundcheck, y'all. So if there's any what the fuck? Why is it? Should be playing. Okay, now it's good. Weird. There's supposed to be music playing. I guess I wasn't playing it. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Hold on a sec, guys. I gotta change the resolution. I forgot. Let's see if I can do it while I'm still live. I don't know if I can or not. But let's find out. I might have to stop the stream. Yeah, I'll have to stop the stream for a sec. Chotomate. I'll be right back. I just gotta change some settings. So I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Once again, baby. So, hopefully this is a little better. Just want to make sure. Okay, yeah, device defaults, all that fun stuff. All right, hold on. It's a Sony. Current resolution is which is not optimal. It's 1080p. Whatever. I guess it wants me to go like 1440 or some shit. Okay, fine. Jeez. Alright, just so I don't get any weird errors, I'm going to change the resolution again. Sorry. Scuff stream. I'm sorry, guys. Go man, sorry. I'll be right back once again. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Analytics, stream's healthy. Good to go. Right. So far so good. Everything looking pretty darn good. Right. I wasn't kidding when I said this was a test. So, alright. Now, hopefully, knock on wood, we get the stream going. I'll go ahead and shout her out. And if you guys have any issues with the sound and all this other stuff, just let me know. Please let me know, because I always hate listening back and like nobody said anything, and either the music's too loud or I'm like really super quiet. It's really hard to hear me, or whatever the case. So if there's any issues with the sound, feel free to let me know. But yeah, just kind of eyeballing the stream and stuff on like OBS and on YouTube. I do notice there's a little bit of lag with the camera. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if I got to get a new cable or if there's some settings I got to change or something. I've been trying to fuss with it all morning, and honestly, I'm just kind of glad that it's even working at all at this point, to be honest. So we'll see where it goes, but yeah, we'll just go ahead and send her out. There we go. Okay. We'll share this link out, and then we'll begin the stream proper. Okay, sound good? Sweet. Yeah, I wish Discord had the music spot like it used to. You gotta pay for it in order to have it be halfway decent. So now I gotta like manually put in all my shit. So it's kind of annoying. Boop. There we go. Okay, so we're live. Live, pal. I don't know how long we're gonna be live for. But I'm just gonna be scrolling down the Discord, yeah, baby. Posting out my game setup. Let me see. Okay, cool. So I'm just doing a little bit of plug-in, if you will. Okay, so Discord's good. Good to go. Quit it. Oh, sheesh. Hold on. I forgot to disable my VPN. Hold on a sec, guys. It'll just be like a quick little... Alright. And we're back. Okay, cool. Yeah, I forgot to disable my VPN before I started. When I said this was a test stream, I meant it, man. I wasn't fucking about. No, sir. But yeah. So now we got all that going. We'll share it on the tweeters as well. And then we'll begin things proper. Should be good. Right, so that's all up and at 'em. Alrighty, cool. Quick little. Alright, desktop audio is going good. Sweet. Got 5.5 hours of quality tunes from good old Zen Buster Music. Shout out. And so now I think we can begin the stream proper. So, that said, here we go. So, all right, and we're live, pal. Once again, baby. So, hey, Andy here. And you might notice something a little different about this streaming setup. So, I decided to get off my fat, lazy ass and actually put together a proper streaming setup. I decided to do some rearranging of the room a little bit. Well, I mean, the main thing I did was just move my desk, pretty much. And with that, I decided to also put together a proper streaming setup with the good camera and the good microphone instead of my usual webcam affair. So, feeling pretty good about that. I'm just getting everything all organized and everything, so it's just a test stream. Might be a little bit scuffed. You might see my shorts over there, my camera bag over there, and can of Monster on the fridge and other things. So we're still tweaking and peeking over here, but I feel pretty good about this setup, you know, for my studio setup. And also want to do my recorded videos in this setup as well too. Hey, twin lamps, looking good, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you. So I definitely do want to do more recorded videos in this little nook, if you will, because instead of fighting the natural lighting, I'm going with it, which was kind of dumb in retrospect to have it that way. But I basically had the desk, I literally just flipped my entire setup. So instead of the desk facing the door, it's now facing the window. So now I get all that nice natural lighting, and I also have a little little ring light setup as well, which is my usual filming setup. So I got that all hooked in with a little USB majigger. And I got that hooked into my mic, the Shure Mv1, and then I got my Sony A7C with the good lens, the YouTuber lens, that 20mm f1.8 biz. Whoa, shit! Fuck me! Oh my god! About had a heart attack. I was just moving some things. Jesus Christ. Okay. Scuff stream. I know. Sorry, boys. Boys. God damn. Can't take me anywhere. Jeez. All right. But in any event, so we got this setup. I think maybe in future videos I might. Let's see. I got this. Okay. So the monitor is. How far? Okay. So it's about there. So. Okay. All right. Should be good. I just wanted to make sure the monitor wasn't in the way there. Why is the camera so high up now? What the hell? I swear it's like leaning back. I have it locked in, I swear. Let me adjust that again. 2 a.m. boys, that's right. Whew, looking for some premium beans. Golly. I got that spot focus going as well, so hopefully it'll focus on here and won't be like like my webcam does. But yeah, let's see. Okay, still get the monitor in the way. Scooch that boy over. Okay. Yeah, this new monitor I got. Tell you what, 5 a.m. Yo, what's up? Is that Hacks Carl? Hacks Carl. Okay. Right. Oh, that's what it is. Like, whenever I move this monitor, it like moves the camera a little bit. That's a little fucky. Okay. Okay, it's not moving it now. I guess it was on a cable or something. I don't know. Weird. So where are most of my viewers from? America, mostly. Because I do be that Mercagen. So it looks like the streaming setup's good now. Famous last words. But yeah, so most of my viewers are from America, which is why I typically stream in the mornings. I would have streamed earlier, but I was getting everything all set up, as you gentlemen know. But yeah, I typically stream in the mornings my time, and that way it allows American viewers a chance to watch, because I know a lot of most like streamers in Japan, they typically film either the afternoons or the evenings, which would be morning America's time, which is kind of fucky, right? Like waking up at like 5 or 6 in the morning to watch somebody stream. I mean, yeah, you could always watch the VODs and stuff, and I guess it's more convenient for the people who are actually here, because you know most people are going to their jobs and shit in the morning, but ain't gotta worry about that for now anyway. That might change in the future, hopefully. But for now, I can safely stream in the mornings. Today, I don't have class until later in the afternoon, so we're pretty G to G as far as that goes. But yeah, so I basically didn't really have much of a plan for today's stream. I just wanted to make sure all the settings everything, the positioning and all that stuff was good, and so far so good. I don't know. Do you guys notice any like lag with the visuals? Because I think I noticed it a little bit on my end, although it might be just me. I'm not sure. That's like the only thing I can notice that might be a problem. And if it is a problem, I'll have to look into it. I don't know if it's like setting on the camera or... Oh, volume's kind of low? Okay. Well, that I can fix. Alrighty. Hopefully I'm not tweaking and peeking here. So is that a little better? I had the volume a bit low because I didn't want to blow you guys' eardrums out, basically. Please don't play any ads, it'll wreck my ears. Oh. I don't know about that, but I'm not going to like manually put them in. They just kind of come in automatically. It should just be... Alright, cool. Yeah, the ads and stuff should just be at the beginning. I don't think there's going to be any mid-rolls, or I'm not going to go on an ad break or anything like that. So this is just a little scuff stream setup, dealio. So I'm not going to be on for super long. But yeah, so like I said earlier, I'll just go over the basic setup of everything. So I decided to move my desk over. I literally just flipped it because it was facing the door. Now it's facing the window, so I get all this nice natural light. I also have a ring light to help focus it on me, so it's not just general lighting. And because it's kind of a cloudy, rainy day, I know y'all want them IRL streams, but not a good idea today. Sorry. But yeah, I just got the overhead light on as well because it's kind of dark out. Then I got the good old Shure Mv1 mic. It's very similar to the SM7B mic, which a lot of podcasters use. But the nice thing about this is it's also USB compatible, which is what I'm using right now. I do plan on getting an XLR unit at some future point, just for better sound quality and other stuff. But for now, because I'm running on very limited desk space, if you guys could see the whole desk, it looks nice and clean from here, but if you could see the other side, you'd be wondering how the hell you running that stuff. But yeah, that's a future get, possibly. And then I have my camera, Sony A7C, full frame goodness. It's what I shoot my my main videos with. And then I have the Sony 20mm lens, f1.8. It's the YouTuber vlog lens. I should have bought that lens like from the beginning because it's been such a game changer for me. It's like, oh hey, finally my videos look really good now. Like, sick. All right, so then I got a little ring light on top of the camera because I got one of those small rig cages. So with the A7C, the problem what I have with it is that the grip on it is very shallow. So I got a small rig cage which extends the grip a little bit. It's still not what it is for like the normal A7 series cameras, but it's definitely an improvement. So anyway, Ray's saying, what kind of visa can you get after graduation? If you find a job, do you have to change your visa? Yes. So basically, I covered this before, but I'll cover it again once graduation time is has come and gone. But basically, what I'll be doing is I'll be changing my visa from a student visa to a job hunting visa. Now, technically, it's a designated activities visa, which is like a miscellaneous catch-all term for visas, for stuff that doesn't fall under like the typical visa structure. So my designated activity would be job hunting. And you can only get that if you graduate from a university within Japan. So if you're in America or something like that and you graduate from university and you think you can just come on over with a job hunting visa, it's not the case. You can only do it if you graduate from a university within Japan. And the nice thing about this is it's initially you can get it for 6 months, but you can also extend that for an additional 6 months. So you can be on a job hunting visa for up to a maximum of a year. And just get out there looking for jobs that can sponsor your visa. Once you get the job that is willing to sponsor your visa, then you'll have to change into a proper work visa, depending on the field that you're in. If you're doing the whole Joe Blow English teacher route, then you have to change it to, I think it's a humanities visa, I believe. Teaching them AGOs to the kids. So you just have to change it to that. So that's basically what I'd be doing. And if I were to find a job doing something else, then just file it under that category, basically. That's the general route that you would take. And it's kind of weird thinking about it now, because I've had visas of all different kinds being out here in Japan. I've had the SOFA status visa, which I think is more of a visa exemption than an actual visa. I don't really know. But when I was in the Navy station in Yokosuka, that was kind of my deal. And then when I came over as a study abroad student, when I came over as a study abroad student, I was on a student visa. And then when I graduated the first time with my associates, went on the job hunting visa, then went back on the student visa when I got accepted into the bachelor's program, and then I'll be going back again on the job hunting visa, only to hopefully get a work visa at the end of it all. So kind of done a lot with my time here in Japan. But yeah, that job hunting visa definitely comes in the clutch, no doubt. But once you get a bachelor's, it's going to be a lot easier, hopefully, to find a job, as opposed to having an associate's degree, when it's like, me job hunting on an associate's degree was basically, have you ever tried to beat Street Fighter 2 on like the easiest difficulty? And like you win the game, but you get like the, if you really, congratulations, you beat the game, but if you beat it on this difficulty, you'll actually get something for it. And then they roll credits or whatever. So that's basically what it was for me when I got my associates and all that. It's like, hey, you got a degree. You're kind of sort of something, but not enough of something for us to really give a shit about you. So better luck next time, kid. Which I kind of expected, It's kind of the deal here. You just got to get that bachelor's or higher. If you have a master's, then you're pretty well set. Have you considered contractor gigs in Okinawa? I have. A lot of my buds. I have some friends who are also veterans going to school at Lakeland, and they're telling me, bro, go to USA Jobs. You got to sign up for this, that, and the other, bro. And that's what I do. And I have a couple of stuff that I've signed up for, but I haven't heard back from anybody yet. So it's kind of a long play, really. Is USA Jobs, because they take months to wait for the bidding, I guess, or whatever you call it, to end, and then once they close out the listing, then they have to go through all the candidates, and it's a very long process. It's not as easy as everybody thinks it is, So, but I know a couple of guys who have already got gigs lined up. Once they graduate, they're either going. Actually, I have somebody going back to Oki after he's all done graduating, and then I got another guy. He's going to Yoko to. I think he's working like a youth program or something or other. I forget what he said. But he's basically just doing that just to keep his visa, so he can stay out here in Japan. The other guy, same thing. So that is a route I was thinking about. It's kind of more of a long-term play rather than something I can just get really quickly. But I am keeping my eyes peeled for stuff like that. But mostly, I've just been looking around on like LinkedIn, talking with friends, even going to Craigslist and Gaijinpot just to see what's all out there. Not really missing much on those sites, to be honest. every once in a while you see like a promising gig on Craigslist, but it's Craigslist, so you got to be a bit sus about it. You know, you got to read as much fine print as there is there. I did see a gig recently for this YouTuber that really wants to be like Paulo in Tokyo. Like, it's patently obvious who he models his stuff after. And I mean, no fault on the guy. He, you know, sees a winning formula and wants to go for it, of course. But it just, I don't know, he just comes across to me as just very unlikable because it's just so patently obvious who he's modeling himself after. But anyway, he had a thing on Tokyo Craigslist asking for videographers, and I'm like, hell yeah. Then I look at his stuff and I'm like, I don't know, bro. I just couldn't gel with that personality. And you know, it'd be one thing if he paid like a lot of money, then I might be able to just kind of, you know, gum on through it. But he wasn't really paying all that much, and he even said like, you know, I'm just looking for amateurs. I'm not looking for pro level stuff. So if you're a pro, don't even bother applying. And I'm like, all right, roger that. So it's kind of disappointing, but at least he was honest about that part. So give credit where credit's due. So favorite Gaijin J vloggers. I mean, there's the usual people, you know, like Broad in Japan, stuff like that. I think I've warmed up to him a lot more over the years, because like when he first started really getting big, I think the thing that just kind of pissed me off was just how sort of pompous he made things seem, because he took himself like way too seriously in interviews. You know, he didn't see himself as a YouTuber. Like, he was kind of like begrudgingly a YouTuber. He was just like a filmmaker who happened to be on YouTube, and it just, you know, had this air of pompousness about him as far as that goes. But, you know, it turns out he's just British, guys. He is actually quite affable, if I do say so myself. But, yeah, my opinion on him has warmed up over the years. And, you know, to his credit, I do appreciate his cinematography work. He's only gotten better over time. And I think he's shown a lot more of his personality as well, which is good. So he's kind of became less of a host and more kind of into some stuff. Like the stuff he does with C-Dog VA is really funny. And I think that's what really started, you know, having me kind of lighten up to him a little bit, because we get to see more of Chris instead of just this British presenter showing really cool shots of Japan. And speaking of C-Dog VA, Connor, the whole Trash Taste podcast boys, I love those guys. Like, I'm a major fan of Trash Taste, to be honest. Love their stuff, both as Trash Taste and individually. You know, I've been following Giguk Garnt for years and years. Following Anime Man since probably 2014, 2015, I'd say. That's when I first started noticing him, because he was doing like J-Vlog stuff and some Let's Play content here and there. I wasn't like actively following him then, but I'd see some of his videos kind of come on my feed every once in a while. And then Connor, I started following him when Trash Taste started. Like, I knew kind of sort of him because he did some voice acting work for some Bridge series. But I wasn't really all that into his content until afterwards. As far as some others, I don't know, man. Oh, of course, I'd be remiss in not mentioning my good friend Mike from Chill Japan. He doesn't make content as much as he used to these days. He's kind of busy with stuff. But when he does, you know, it's good to see just that kind of nice, relaxed, chill vibe content. It's good stuff. But yeah, getting back to your next question, what kind of niche do I want to fill with J-vlogging? Well, originally when I came back, well, actually we can take this a bit further back. You know, when I first came to Japan, I wanted to fill the being stationed abroad in Japan niche, because nobody was really talking about their military experience at all at that point. You know, if you go back to, you know, I started talking about my Navy experience pretty much as soon as I joined. You know, I was talking about going to DEP meetings and things like that before I even went out to basic. This is back in like 2010. This is like way before, guys like JT Suits and Kyle Gott and all them other guys really started vlogging about their military experience. So when I first came out to Japan when I was stationed in Yokosuka, I wanted to be that J-vlogger kind of talking about his life in Japan, but being stationed in Japan, and just kind of talking about the experiences there, and also showing off the local areas in Yokosuka as well as the rest of Kanagawa, because most people were just doing shit in Tokyo, and that's all well and good, but like, if I'm doing a video on vending machines in Tokyo, are you going to watch my video, or are you going to watch like Eric Surf 6 or Abroad in Japan's video, right? So, I just kind of knew that the whole Tokyo niche was overcrowded. And keep in mind, this is back in like 2013, 2015, and it's only gotten worse, well, worse by just more people, worse for people to kind of stand out and stuff in that regard. But I figured if I kind of showed lesser known spots in Japan, then that would kind of be my niche, right? But since returning to Japan, now that I'm a study abroad student, well, for the next 20 some odd days, I wanted to showcase what life is like as a study abroad student as well, and also just talk about what life is like as a veteran stationed out here, or not stationed out here, but studying out here, excuse me. And I think I did as good a job as I could, especially considering what all went down during my return to Japan. Because if that didn't happen, the whole Andy Japandy series would have been a lot different. I would have gone out a lot more, done a lot more filming outside, stuff like that. But since that all went down, it really, kind of killed my motivation to go out and film stuff. Because it just felt weird, to be gallivanting around Japan doing typical J-vlogger shit while everybody was staying at home, socially distancing, all that fun stuff. So even though everybody was like, no, it's okay, bro, just go out and film, it's all good, I still felt some kind of way about it, so yeah. I know I met her actually back in 2015 before I left. Yeah, it's ETCE. Sorry, bro, I don't know how to pronounce your name. What do you think you're going to be doing now that your time as student's ending? That's a very good question. Obviously, the main thing I'm going to be doing is trying to find a job. And from there, just continue doing YouTube and doing video editing as well. Oh, Ets? Okay, cool. I'm really particular with names, so I just want to make sure I get it right. So, Ets, got it. All right, cool. So yeah, basically, first and foremost, going to be finding a job. And then once I get that all sorted out, get on a good schedule to where I can, properly, film out my videos and stuff like that, then I really want to get more consistent with making videos and doing live streams and stuff like that. Because I know you guys really dig the live streams, and I like doing them too. I mean, this is why I redid the whole setup, right? So wanted to get going with that. And just make filming a lot easier, because before I had to like get the camera out, get the lights, get the mic, and get all this shit out, get it all set up, and in the meantime I'm like thinking about what I want to say in the video, and sometimes it's kind of hard to maintain that like level of energy that you need to film, because if I'm just like, hey guys, Andy here, and today we're gonna be talking about this thing and do whatever, which I do I do that a lot, and I'm trying to be better with it, but sometimes, hey, you just gotta have them low energy vlogs sometimes, especially when it's rainy season right now. But yeah, I want to start making more stuff for my own channels. Yeah, for sure. And I do appreciate the questions, Ray. I really do. So pretty old. I like how you put the little air quotes in there, because age is relative. And I want to come to Japan, but I keep feeling like it's too late. What do you think is too late? Try living there, staying there for an extended period. It's funny you should ask that, Ets, because I made a video last week about it, just talking about my whole experience trying to graduate from college. And I'm not going to recite the whole thing here because it's like 45 minutes long. It's definitely a deep dive into my journey and my thoughts and all that. But to give you the Cliff's Notes version, the best I can, I don't think there is such a thing as too late. Yeah, exactly like what Ray said. There's people coming here in their 40s, So I don't think there really is such a thing as like too late, per se. I'm assuming you already have your degree and stuff, so you'd probably be coming here on a work visa, just assuming. But if you have your bachelor's degree all sorted, then I don't really see a reason why not. Another YouTuber I used to watch a lot back in the day, he doesn't make too much stuff these days, aside from some sumo content here and there. It was Jason from the My Argonauts channel. He came over as a jet, as part of the jet program, when he was just 35, just a year younger than I am today. And back then, jet had like a strict limit, an age limit of 35. So if you're 36 and up, you're done, son. But he just hit that limit when he applied, and then they later changed it to where there is no age limit anymore. So I think, obviously being older, things are going to be a lot harder, but there's also going to be a lot of things that are going to be easier. And everybody's a little different, but for me, coming here, older than what most expats come here as, most of them come in their 20s or whatever. I think the nice thing is that you kind of have your priorities in order, because like when you're in your 20s, you're just trying to figure shit out, right? But once you're 30s and up, you kind of have a better idea of who you are as a person and what your goals and stuff are, versus if you're in your 20s, you're just trying shit out. So how much would you say you need to travel there to stay if you don't have military backing? So for me, and I don't recommend this at all, I only came here with about maybe like $1,500 at the time, which 100% do not recommend doing. It was very, very yabe, to say the least. But I would say I'd recommend double that. So I'd recommend at least 3,000 bare minimum. Obviously, the more money you have, the better things will be, But if you're, I'm trying to read the question here just to make sure. So you're not traveling there just to gallivant around Tokyo or Kyoto, Osaka, all that kinds of stuff. You're going there to stay, right? To work, study, whatever. Yeah, I'd recommend at least bare minimum $3,000. Ideally $5,000. If you can swing more, that's great. All the better. There are ways to live very cheaply out here in Japan. Yeah, I think I'd say like a year or two would be a good benchmark to see if you really like this and want to continue doing this. Most people say a year, but for me, I'd say 2. For comfortability, 5K, I'd say, yeah. But if you're very disciplined with your budget, I'd say 3K bare minimum. Bare minimum 3K. So I wouldn't go any lower than 3K, even though I did, but I would not recommend that. So I'm speaking from experience here, guys. So visa might get in the way. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are times where you only get like a 1-year visa or whatever if you're a 1-year Andy instead of a 5 or 2-year Andy. So obviously barring that, of course. But I'd say just, for you personally, if you wanted to try living in another country, I'd give it 2 years. Just to make sure. Because, like, the first year, you're going to be working your ass off trying to get everything all settled and, because you're going to be moving at least 2 or 3 times during that first year. Because you're probably going to be going from, like, your initial share house type place to maybe another share house or to an apartment. You may or may not like that apartment, so you're probably going to move to another apartment. So that first year is just going to be you getting settled and getting used to how things work. And that second year is going to be you actually doing the stuff, right? So I wouldn't judge your experience based on just 1 year. Now, obviously, if you're just completely fucking miserable and are just done with everything, then obviously, best to cut your losses. But if you're still like kind of, I don't know, just give it another year and then, think about it again. So have I considered applying IT background for a tech job in Japan as a holdover? It's funny you should mention that, Ray. Because I did apply to Rakuten specifically. Haven't applied the line though, because I think they have like the Japanese requirement. Because that's kind of the thing with a lot of tech jobs out here. They require you to speak pretty high level Japanese. And for some companies, they may be a bit more lenient on that. Some may require only like a casual level of Japanese, like an N. I think the lowest I've seen was like N3 level. Yeah, line's way more competitive. And I didn't get that job at Rakuten either, which kind of sucks. Yeah, Rakuten especially. I don't know about Line. I don't really know their corporate structure, but Rakuten definitely, they're one of the few Japanese companies that are doing this English initiative, I think is what they call it, where they're really trying to internationalize their company. So they're putting like an English first sort of mentality to where the staff at least has to speak like business level English. So they're also trying to use that to appeal to foreigners coming in as well. And me personally, I think it's great. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. Been a long time coming, of course. But yeah, I did apply because Rakuten had a video editing position that they were looking for, but they decided to go with somebody else. And then Line, I haven't checked Line recently, but they did have a couple of gigs here and there, at least on the tech dev side. Yeah, definitely. And there's also a gig, one of my friends is trying to get me to work at one of the Amazon data centers, because they have like this sort of training deal where you go in for like 6 months, you train to be this server engineer type stuff, working with the cloud and stuff. I don't fucking know much about that, to be honest, because like a lot of my IT experience is for stuff that's like wildly out of date. So I'm no IT whiz, if you will, but I could definitely use Google and figure shit out, which is pretty much what you need for the most part. But yeah, like I was saying, somebody was trying to give me a gig working at one of the Amazon data centers here, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them. Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I won't be working at the fulfillment centers. That's a whole nother bucket of worms, can of worms, if you will. But working on the IT side of things, I don't really know how Amazon works in that regard. Can't imagine it's super awesome, but the pay's pretty good, and like you said, it's good to put on a resume. And if anything, if all goes well, yeah, even dev is like hell at times. Yeah, I'm sure. You know, I got a lot of friends that work in IT as well. I got a buddy of mine. He does QA work, and he just complains about it nonstop. Meanwhile, they're just handing him fucking fat stacks of cash, and he's like, "Ah, it's a fucking shit ass job." Let me wipe off the sweat with my fucking fat stack Ichiman bills. But you know, it's one of them deals. You know, you get a job that pays extremely well but treats you like shit, or it's just unfulfilling, or you be a Joe Blow English teacher living off egg and rice diets the rest of your life and not getting much further than living in a single room guest house. You know, that's kind of the deal going around Japan these days. You know, it's because I even looked at English teaching jobs to not really so much financial, but at least to, you know, get a visa so I can continue working out here, because I have other ways of making money and stuff like that. So for me, the important part is getting the visa. You know, if they're not paying enough, then I can figure that out, as long as I'm not working like a shit ton of hours. Space for entrepreneurs in Japan if you're foreign. It's hard saying there. It's Reserve Forces Japan is a part-time gig. Well, for one, I actually did look that up. They didn't really have anything for Navy out here, and even if I could, I'm too old to get back in the service, and obviously I gotta lose some dang old chubbage to even qualify. You have to bring in a lot of cash and hire at least 2 Japanese nationals. Yeah, that's part of the deal for some cases if you come in on like a business visa. My friend Zach from the Phoenix 787. Well, he changed it to Zach Phoenix. He's a J vlogger as well, but he has his own like studio and stuff like that. He does video production work as well, and I gotta get him on sometime to kind of talk about how he actually did it, because I believe he's on like a business visa of some kind, or at least was on it after graduating, because he started up a studio shortly after graduating college, and now he's partnered up with some people doing some stuff. So it's a bit easier on him financially to run things. I gotta talk with him about that, just to, you know, because I think it would be interesting for some people to kind of learn what options they have available, because, you know, for me, that is the most important thing. It's just knowing your options, right? Because otherwise, if you don't, then you'll just be like, well, you know, I'm a fucking mortgagin, so all I qualify for is speaking them egos to the kids. You know, and just being like singing the weather song. You know, what's the weather? What's the weather? You know, that kinds of shit. Which, you know, in fairness, because I do give a lot of shit to teaching English, but in fairness, though, there are some people who do really enjoy their job teaching English. And, you know, I'm not talking shit about them, because if you enjoy your job, no matter what it is, you already fucking won the game. So I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about the people who are stuck in a job they fucking hate just because it's an easy visa and a paycheck. But anyway, have I thought about taking your channel to a full documentary route like Life Where I'm From? I have thought about that. It's just been kind of difficult because of school and like freelance commitments and stuff like that. So it's been really difficult to, which is why my channel's been largely inconsistent since coming back. You know, obviously the whole, you know, crony macaroni happened that kind of fucked stuff up. But now that stuff is easing up and everybody's getting the 2-tap and sometimes 3 or 4-tap, I do feel a lot more confident about going outside and filming stuff. But I definitely do see Greg's approach life where I'm from. I do really like his approach, actually, and I should have mentioned him earlier, because I do really like his approach to making videos in Japan, because he goes like really in depth with a lot of different things, and I think that's great. So I could definitely see myself doing stuff like that. Oh shit, I completely forgot. There was another channel. You got me going, Ray. You got me started. But there's another channel called People of Kagoshima. I could definitely see myself doing stuff like that, where it's like sit down interviews with Japanese experts in stuff, and then we go out and we film them doing the stuff. They did an episode on a particular type of glass stuff, like artisanal glass, things like that. I thought was really fascinating. And it's just making, you know, like sake cups and, you know, glass tumblers and shit like that. But they're really like ornate and extremely expensive. Because I thought it was, just buy one just for the hell of it. But they're like $600 for the little bitty shot glass. Obviously, it's well worth it because they're very intricately put together. But I could definitely see myself doing something like that. But I think where I see myself would be to kind of partner up with bigger channels, you know, because I see myself kind of succeeding long term doing that rather than going my own route, because, you know, YouTube success, you know, YouTube's only been a viable, I wouldn't say career, but a viable source of income for just a few years now. I mean, I've been on the platform longer than most people, and I've only been here for over 16 years, pretty much. And in that time, we've seen a lot of different changes to the platform. We've seen a lot of the main stars of the show change, and different formats come and go and get rearranged and all that. So it's hard to have full-time success as a creator, but you can leverage your skills to help other creators, you know. So I do get a lot of joy from doing that, you know. And, you know, I kind of take it as more of like my insurance policy, if you will, to where if things start to go a little sideways for me, you know, if say for instance, like my channel just like takes off, you know, then obviously I'd be focusing on that for the most part. But if it starts to kind of fall off and just kind of gets to a certain point, you know, it's nice to know that if everything falls apart, that I still can rely on my own skill set to carry me through, so I can be more behind the scenes and help other people. Never too late. Came here in my late 20s. Definitely appreciate the extra life experience. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like when I first got here, I was mid 20s, or not mid 20s, late 20s. Excuse me, 27 when I first got here. Even though it looked like a fucking 17-year-old baby face, like who let this kid out late at night? You know, I look back at those old videos. Jesus Christ. You know, it's like, hey guys, it's the Andy-san here, and today we're in Japan. Isn't Japan just wonderful? Oh my gosh. Like, fuck me, bro. Jeez Louise. Well, that's the beauty of doing YouTube as long as I have. You know, you get to look back and, you know, see how far you come, you know. Yeah, so how to become his editor for a period. So that's the whole thing. I don't really talk about him too much these days, just because you know, it kind of starts up like drama and shit like that, you know. But I'll try to keep it as drama free as I can, talking about old Sam. But basically, what had happened was, we had first met each other at the YouTube get-togethers at I believe it was like a Hanami or something like. Yeah, it was a Hanami. And we'd gotten together. Actually, no, take it back. It was a like a meetup type group that he was putting together, and we met up at Devil Craft Pizza with him and a couple of his other friends. And then later, I met him again at one of the Hanami parties that we do every spring with the cherry blossoms and all that. And we just got to know each other and really vibed and stuff like that. And when I went back to America after I got out of the Navy, he had a problem with his computer. His hard drive had crashed. No, it wasn't hard to find him. He's not a hard man to find. He stands out, you know. And it's not just the Tony Choppa hat, you know, which he was wearing a lot of back in the day. But regardless, so when I went back to America, his hard drive had crashed, and he was kind of complaining because he was doing the daily upload thing at the time. And so I said, why don't I just put together your videos until you get your hard drive situation figured out? Just as a favor to him, just as a friend, right? I didn't really expect too much more out of it than that. And he was like, yeah, sure. So he'd send me like the raw files, and I'd pull his intro, outro from his other videos and just put them together. He'd give me some instructions and stuff on what to do, what to cut, things like that. And we just kind of took it from there. And even once he got his hard drive fixed, he decided, why don't you just like be my editor, and you could be like Barry from Game Grumps, right? He could be like this kind of off-screen sort of presence. And it was really fun at first. And then, he referred me to some other people like Eric Surf 6 and Brian from Ramen Adventures. I also did a couple deals with Akasan as well. And a bunch of others. But it just kind of got to a point where we got into some arguments, mostly about like pay and like how much work was expected of me, as my other freelance commitments were starting to take a bit more precedent, because I didn't want to just edit for Sam the whole time, and his stuff was, like I said, didn't really pay all that much, and he was asking for like a lot, and he was starting to kind of ramp up production on his stuff as well. So it was like, do I continue editing for him for not a whole lot of money, or do I focus more on kind of growing my freelance experience and also just growing as an editor as well, because a lot of the stuff I was doing for the other people was much more intricate and much more interesting than the stuff I was doing for Sam. So I just kind of held on just due to loyalty, because he was the one that got me those gigs. But at some point it kind of got to a point where I couldn't really commit to doing Sam stuff and also really putting in the time and effort that I wanted to for the other videos. So that was kind of our first falling out, was that. And then we made up over it. It was just kind of a little short blow up. And then I started working for him again, and that's when the whole fallout happened that everybody knows about, which basically what happened was I was in a bit of a hard spot. It also didn't help that we were living in the same guest house at the time when I first came back to Japan, and I was already looking for another place to stay at that point anyway, because I always saw like living in the box as just a temporary thing, and I also wanted to go to Temple University once I graduated from Lakeland, so I wanted a place that was a bit closer to it, and a place where I had a private room. So I was just kind of looking for spots, but at that point, obviously the you-know-what was in full effect. I was staying in the box most of the time just to, distance from people and to be safe and to do my homework and all this other stuff. And it was just starting to get to me, So I wasn't exactly the best person to be around at that time, in fairness to Sam. But ultimately the straw that broke the camel's back in that regard was, just move this over here. Hold on. Okay. Just had to move my computer. But ultimately, the straw that broke camel's back was he wanted to get going on his podcast, his Where From Japan podcast, where he interviewed people from different prefectures. And he had recorded a whole bunch of episodes at the time. I think it was like 20 or so. But he didn't quite know the format and stuff that he wanted the podcast to be in. So he just had all this stuff in the can ready to go whenever he got that all sorted. And I'd worked on just a few episodes at the time, but he wanted all these different edits and shit like that, and just wanted it to be this very meticulously edited podcast. And at the time, finals were coming up for that first semester, and I was telling him, like, hey, I need to take some time off to work on final projects and studying for finals, but once that's all taken care of, I'm gonna have 2 months to hang out, and we're just gonna go out there and just fucking kill it, baby. But he didn't really take too kindly to that when I said I needed like 2 weeks to work on school stuff. So he basically, I wouldn't say blackballed me, but he just cut me out of his life. He kicked me off the Discord server, which I was a mod on there, so I lost a good 500 pounds just from getting demodded. Felt pretty light and nimble. I kid, of course, but so he kicked me off his Discord. He sent me like these lengthy line messages and stuff like that, saying he doesn't want to see me, he doesn't want to know me. He's just I'm a representation of all his failures and stuff, and he's just cutting me out of his life because he's got to be the hero in the story, right? So it was very reminiscent of our previous fight, but at the time I was just going through so much stuff that I just didn't really want to repair that friendship. And the main thing is, if he wasn't willing to, support me in terms of knowing and respecting my priorities, because I didn't come back to Japan on a video editor visa, I came back on a student visa. So if he wasn't willing to respect that, then he doesn't really respect me as a person. So at that point, I was just like, fuck it, and just. We haven't spoken to each other since, and I, quite frankly, don't really care to speak to him ever again. I don't hold any ill will towards him. It's nothing like that. It's just a simple, it just kind of was what it was, and, I just wanted to leave it at that, And I know a lot of people came to my channel based on my relationship to Sam, and also from the falling out. A lot of them came over just to vent and want me to like talk shit about Sam and stuff like that. And it was kind of fun to do that for a while, just to kind of vent and just get that out of my system. Oh, nice. But just to finish this stuff with Sam, but it as I kept on trying to do it, it just, became kind of this fun little like, haha, let's laugh at him sort of thing, to just, drudging up old feelings. And I had largely gotten over the situation at that point, so it just kind of felt like I was punching down, and was just kind of stuck in my old ways and not really progressing. So I just decided to just stop talking about him altogether. I unlisted a couple of videos that I did that did really well view-wise and engagement-wise, talking about him, and just haven't really talked about him since, to be honest. So there you go. But yeah, getting back to the other questions. Yeah, people call Kagoshima. I'm glad that you're friends with the guy who runs it. That's awesome, man. Yeah. So mates with the guy that runs it. That's awesome. Yeah, tell him he's doing a great job. So what's up, Chris? I'm still on the laptop. It's just off to the side. I just switched everything over view-wise. Just trying out this new setup. Server, yeah. Nah. But yeah, I'm still on the same old lappy. I'm thinking once I get a job and all that sorted, next big purchase is gonna be a desktop computer. But that's not gonna be for a while, you know, because I feel pretty happy with my lappy, and yeah. So I bought an Alienware yesterday. Holy shit, bro! I just got an Asus ROG Zephyrus. It's an I think it's an M15, if I remember right. It's the one with the Ryzen processor, because they have a Laffy Taffy. Girl, shake that Laffy Taffy. That happy lappy. Anyway, that'll cost you extra if you get the happy lappy. But yeah, I love Asus, man. I did get kind of fucked over. Yeah, that'd be a fun one to edit on, right? Commodore 64. Jeez Louise. My boy's got that Coleco vision. Got the song, hell yeah. There was a like a mashup of Laffy Taffy and the Night Trap theme, because it was an old school Game Grumps remix of Laffy Taffy and the Night Trap theme. Really fucking awesome. Might take a bit to find, but if you find it, it'd be awesome. Going to the beach this weekend? Hell yeah. Which, speaking of which, that's what I'm gonna be doing this Sunday, actually. Saturday I'm gonna be working on some shit. We out here, baby. But yeah, I'm gonna be hopefully weather permitting. You know how it is with rainy season. But yeah, we're gonna be going out to the beach to celebrate beach day. So yeah, but yeah, man. Yeah, just for Chris, just contact Zach, Phoenix787. He's actually looking for some people to help out as well. So yeah, definitely give him a shout. He put out a video recently talking about the beach stuff for next weekend. But we're also gonna be doing something this weekend as well. So just reach out to him on the Foz book, if you will. So yeah. Get that all sorted, because I don't want to put all the deets out on stream. Zach Attack, hell yeah, brother. So yeah, I just wanted to keep the stream moving in that regard. So yeah. But yeah, speaking of which, we are planning on going to I have been going to the beach a lot this summer, and it's really been good for my mental health, you know. Like I said, you know, I've been spending, I feel bad because like I was spending most of my time back in Japan inside, because, you know, I just wanted to be safe and didn't want to be that fucking gaijin wandering around when it wasn't safe. But now the stuff is easing up, and you know, I got the 2-tap going in for the 3rd next month sometime. I haven't got that scheduled out yet, but going in for the 3rd next month. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better about filming stuff outside, as well as filming stuff here. You know, get the new and improved streaming setup. Get in that ocean, hell yeah, brother. Although you gotta be careful with the jellyfish. Thankfully, none of us got stung when we went down to Oiso. Not last weekend, but the weekend before. A whole bunch of blue bottle man-o-war jellyfish washed up to the shore. Like we pointed out, I think like 3 or 4 of them while we were out there shooting off fireworks and shit later. Oh man, that was such a lovely time. And going down to Oiso to shoot off fireworks, that was the first time, I think, I don't even know if I saw, that was the first time I saw the stars in Japan. I don't think I've seen the stars in Yokosuka. I might have, maybe. It's one of those things that you don't really think about until you think about it, and that's like, have I? I don't know. Because like when you're in Tokyo, or hell, even where I'm at in Kawasaki, and I'm not in the thick of it here in Kawasaki either. I'm like in the Inaka part of Kawasaki, like the barely qualifies as Kawasaki, you know. But even as far as I am, you don't really see the stars at night. Like you see the moon and stuff, but you don't really see the stars. But out in Oiso on the beach, you did, and it was just one of those like, yeah, exactly, way too much light pollution out there for sure. You know, it's one of those things that you don't really realize it until it's gone or it comes back, and it's like, oh, yeah, because I remember living in Ohio in my little tiny ass town out in the country, looking up at night at the stars, and yeah, it's been a while. You know, it's just one of those sort of like, not really somber, but just kind of like one of those like bittersweet. You know, it's like it's a nice feeling, but also like, yeah, you know, I kind of miss those times. Didn't mean to bum everybody out, but I just think it's fun. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why I want to move a bit further away from old Tokyo, because not just for the stars, that's a nice little bonus, but yeah, just to kind of get away from all the hustle bustle of the city. You know, I think when I was younger, I definitely loved being in the city, you know, being surrounded by stuff and just having all this stuff to do. And as a YouTuber, I mean, fuck, bro, Tokyo is like an endless content creation machine. Jeez Louise. You could do fucking everything there, make videos. But in terms of just livability and quality of life, I mean, there are some spots in Tokyo that are nice and suburban. But yeah, as far as my ideal place to live in Japan, hell, man, I'd say by the ocean. You know, I really missed my time in Yokosuka, just, you know, living right next to the ocean. But obviously, I don't make enough to live in my old apartment anymore. But I'd say, you know, just living in coastal Japan is definitely where it's at. You know, living it's called Shonan. It's the southern part of Kanagawa, kind of leading into Shizuoka Prefecture a little bit. So I believe it starts from Hayama, and then going further west, it ends at, like, some people say Odawara, some people say Izu. Either way, so it just goes to that whole coast of places. So you get like Enoshima is like the main area when people think of Shonan. It's Enoshima, Kamakura. But there's other parts a bit further away, like Oiso, I was talking about. There's also Hiratsuka, which is a bit more well known. It's right next to Oiso, and then you got Chigasaki, which is great for surfing. Fujisawa, Enoshima, like I said, and then Kamakura. Zushi is where a lot of family go, and a lot of military folk as well. And like, I don't know how the hell y'all do that, because they ban tattoos and loud music and drinking and all the fun stuff that you do on the beach in Japan. It's like really fucking footloose out there. But I mean, the beach is nice, of course, but me, I definitely prefer going to Kamakura for the beaches. You know, like going to Yugihama. That's kind of our ideal little spot, because the sand is nice and smooth, and you know, you're right there in a nice location. But it is a little bit of a pain in the ass if you want to go to the Konbini, because it's a ways away. Whereas Oiso, it's a bit of a walk, but not too far, and it's not nearly as crowded as it is in Kamakura. But as far as living goes, sorry, I didn't mean to ramble. But I would say, yeah, coastal Japan. So I'm looking at places. I was looking at places in Oiso, but it's kind of hard to find stuff out there because there's not a whole lot of available spots. And, you know, when you're a gaijin, even the available spots that are available get whittled down even further. So it becomes even more difficult. But I'm looking at spots, probably like Hiratsuka, because I want, I want something that's on the Tokaido line. So it's easier to commute to Tokyo. It's going to be obviously a lot longer to get from Hiratsuka all the way to Tokyo, but it is definitely a lot more doable if you're on the main line area. So I'm looking at probably like Hiratsuka, Chigisaki, Fujisawa, Kamakura. Kamakura would be lovely, man. I mean, in addition to the beaches, it's got all kinds of gardens and stuff like that, and you know, just the scenic views and stuff like that. Fuck, man. Kamakura is where it's at, boy. But it's a little pricey living there in some spots. You just gotta keep your eyes peeled, though. But I'd say like the furthest I'd live on the coast would be like Zushi, and even then, that's kind of iffy because you know the prices out there are pretty wild, and it is a little ways from the Tokaido line. So I'd probably cut it off at Kamakura, to be honest. So if I was rich, how would my life change in Japan? I'm even rich just if money wasn't a factor. Well, shit, man. If money wasn't a factor, I'd just live in Zushi, because that's where all the celebrities live. You know, one of my friends, she lives out there, and you know she got this. I mean, by American standards, it's kind of a normal-sized house, but by Japanese standards, it's this fucking like pimptacular mansion. You know. Living near where all the celebrities are. Live on the beach, hell yeah, brother. But yeah, I'd probably live in either one of them like pimptacular houses, or I just live on the beach. You know, if money wasn't an issue, I could just kind of buy my way to living there. So if they're all like, you're a gaijin and you don't speak Japanese, それは難しいだね。ちょっとだね。You know, yeah, exactly. You don't have to be rich, and that's another big thing, by the way, Ray. Living down in that area, Oiso, Hiratsuka specifically, the places there are ridiculously cheap. Like, holy fuck balls. You know, and I mean, there are some places where you're not like on the beach, but you know, there are some spots that are pretty darn close, and they're a lot less expensive than you might think. And my good friend Mike, you know, he found he put a lot of work into the house, but yeah, I mean, there are some reasons out there. I mean, obviously, you know, you got to think about, you know, Yakuza activity, or just simply being far away from Tokyo. That's kind of the thing. So it can be inconvenient sometimes to yeah, an oceanside property is not a premium. That's very true. Very true. And obviously there's a lot of safety precautions as well. Yeah, make sure your stuff's earthquake proof, tsunami resistant, if you're not in like the tsunami zone. Yeah. But you know, Oiso has got it set up pretty nicely. You know, they got a lot of precautionary stuff to kind of hold back things. So that's another thing to keep in mind, of course, if you're living that close to the coast. For me, when I was living in Yokosuka, it wasn't an issue because I was living by Tokyo Bay, which is like heavily enclosed. So it had to be a real motherfucker of a tsunami to even affect us at all. But yeah, living on Sagami Bay, you gotta be a little more careful about that stuff. But that's why it pays to have friends who've been living out there for a number of years. Like my friend Mike, he's been living there for about as long as I've been alive. He moved out there in '86, so he's a long time brother living out there. So he knows a thing or two. Yeah, that's definitely something to be wary of. But there's also a lot of like really pimptacular like oceanside property as well. That's you know, as safe as you can get, really. And I've been looking at a lot of that stuff as well, just to see the possibilities. I mean, obviously it's way out of my budget, but you know, it's still nice to look and see what's out there, see what's possible, right? If anything, just a dream, right? But you can still get your little Leo Palace, you know, Fisher Price, Gaijin's my first Gaijin apartment, you know. You can still get them. There's a lot of them out that way for not a whole lot of money. And even like really tiny little dinky 1K apartments. So I could be a 1K Andy living out there. I even saw one, I think the cheapest apartment I've seen out there in Oiso was this little 25,000 yen deal. It's a little 1K Andy. But it was like 25,000 yen, which is jack plus shit now, and it's actually a lot less than what I pay living in this guest house. Like, to give you all an idea, you know, I'm paying about, let me do the conversion. So, y'all aren't counting. So I'm going to use Burger Bucks, old USD. So I pay about 340 USD to live in this lovely guest house, private room. It's shared facilities and stuff like that, but it's a private room. But for that place, for the rent, obviously there's like maintenance fees, and if you're moving into an apartment, you have to pay for like electricity, gas, and all the other internet stuff like that. Here it's all contained, but for just the apartment itself, it would be about 195 USD, which is fucking ridiculous. It's like fucking nothing to live out there. But they also have like other apartments as well that are about as much as what I'm paying, if not a little more. But it's like a whole ass apartment, right? You know, it's got a shitter, it's got a shower, it's got a stove, or stove top rather. So, you know, it's got all the basic stuff. But yeah. So let me check something here. Oh wow, we've been going on for about an hour and a half. That's a pretty long time for a new stream setup, eh? Y'all got me started with the questions. I appreciate it, by the way. Keeps things moving along at a nice pace. You know, because that's the reason I love streaming. It's that interactivity, right? You know. So let me check. Because I got a package coming in sometime today. And I just gotta see where the fuck it's at. Yeah, still not saying. Alright. Yeah, for sure, man. And thanks for showing up, bro. I really appreciate it there, Ets. You did ask the question, by the way, before you head out. It sounds like you're about ready to head out. I don't know, I could be misunderstanding. But if I'm not, then before you head out, I do want to recommend my latest video real quick. Okay, cool. No. Okay, cool. All right. But regardless, here is my latest video, kind of talking about my experiences trying to get into or try to get my degree, my 18-year college journey. So for later viewing, of course. No worries. No. But yeah, let's see what time we got now. It's almost 1:30 my time. I suppose we could stick around for a few more minutes. But yeah, I am keeping an ear out because I do have a package coming here soon. It's gonna be for my new mattress, because I did buy a mattress off of Amazon, and it was way too soft. And you know, I was kind of worried because like the previous mattress I had was the one that just came with the guest house, and it was just way too hard. I even got like a little memory foam cover to kind of help, and it helped to a point, but after a while it's like, you know, you can only put so much lipstick on a pig before, you know, it's still pig, right? So you can only do so much. So at that point I was just like, fuck it, I need to get a new mattress because it was really hard for me to sleep. And yeah, so I got this one, but it's like way too soft. So I'm returning it, and I'm getting another one that's a bit more firm. So that's going to be coming in shortly. Then I got to get this thing sorted tomorrow. That's going to be the big to-do for tomorrow, is getting the old mattress sent back to Amazon, which I've never sent a mattress in the mail before, especially an unboxed one. You know, I didn't even know you could deliver it, because I first looked up the Amazon America's mattress return policy, and they're like, no, we might give you a refund, but we're not going to take that nasty ass thing back. I've only had it for like, what, 10 days? So it's not that long. So I've had time to sleep on it. But yeah, it's just way too soft. So I didn't know you could return a mattress in the mail. So I contacted Amazon. They're like, yeah, you can do it. And you know, they sent me to the Yamato Transport Company, get that all sorted. Because I just wanted to make sure. And we got that all taken care of. So they're going to be coming tomorrow to pick it up. And I'm going to be getting the new mattress today, sometime. So if you hear the little ping pong in the background, that's what it's going to be. But yeah, just to give you an idea of how soft this mattress is. I don't know if you guys can... here, let me tilt this just a little bit. Sorry for the monitor, by the way. But just to give you an idea of how soft this mattress is. Get my shit off of here. Whoa, shit. That's my camera bag. Almost all my lenses about fell off. Holy shit. Okay, so just give you all an idea. Woo. I don't know if you can see that, just how far I'm like sinking in. But normally, like, the other mattress is about like here, so you'd sink in like a little bit, but not too much. Here it's like all the way. Remember the first time I went to go like sit down, and I'm just gonna, you know, turn the monitor and like watch some stuff, and I'm like sunk in. I'm like, oh shit. About fell over. Getting sucked into that fucking thing. Stack mattresses for ultimate comfort. That's one way to do it, brother. That's one way to do it. Yeah, we'll tilt her back. Okay. And soft mattress, nice. I don't know if that bed frame would handle it. It's one of them Nitori IKEA out here in Japan. It's one of them shits. So I can barely handle my fat ass. Much less 2 mattresses and a memory foam topper. Fuck me. But yeah, that'd be something. But yeah, we're gonna get that in today. It's 25 centimeters thick, so it's an extra thick boy. So hopefully I don't have to return another mattress. And it should be good. Because yeah, it's hard, because when I was stationed in Yokosuka, they had a little mattress place that you could go out to and get that shit delivered. It was called Livin'. I think it's pretty sure it's a franchise. It was part of the Homes franchise. They're like a home improvement store, like Home Depot or Menards, if you're from the Midwest like myself. It's the Japanese version of that. And so I found a mattress that I liked, sat on it, stuff like that, and I'm like, hell yeah, give me that bad boy. And I didn't know a lick of Japanese at that point, so I was, you know, just kind of highing through the conversation. You know, they'd say some shit, like, oh, hi, oh, hi, so da ne. I'd pull out one of them guys and, oh, Nihongo jouzu desu ne, very good though. You know? So, pull one of them shits. And they delivered the mattress, the bed frame, and it was like this, it was one of them joints where it had the drawers at the bottom. So I'd put all my underwear and socks and other shit in there. And then I'd have the lovely mattress I slept on. It was good times, let me tell you. Good times. yeah, that's how I did it that time. And then where I'm at now, I tried looking for like a mattress store, and the closest they had was like in Meguro, which is like really far. And I didn't want to go all the way the fuck out there just to get a mattress that I may or may not like. And I don't know if it's going to be like a big store like Livin' was, or if it's going to be one of them little mom and pop joints who see my heathen Gaijin ass and are like, "No cheeseburger man for you! Get out! Dedicate!" You know? I just though, but you never know. How did I find the place I'm living in now? I just looked for it on, I think it was like Gaijin Pots, or there's another place called Tokyo Share House. Yeah, Tokyo Share House. That's what it's called. I don't want to dox myself, so I'm not going to give out exactly where I live. But yeah, you just go to either Gaijin Pot or Tokyo Share House, and you can find some lovely guest houses out in the Tokyo / Kawasaki. I think it goes as far as Yokohama, I believe, and a little into Saitama if you're one of them up north kind of guys. But I don't know. I like Kanagawa too much. I'm sorry. And it just makes things a lot easier, especially for immigration, which is another thing I realized. So when I went to go change, this is a little side tangent. But yeah, the TLDR on finding the place, Gaijin Pod or Tokyo Share House. Anyway, so immigration, interesting thing. So at the time when I went to go change my visa when I graduated with my associates, I didn't know which immigration office to go to because I'd never gone to immigration before. So I asked the guy there, and they're like, "Well, since the school was based in Tokyo, you should go to the Tokyo one, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I live in Kawasaki. So shouldn't I go to the Kawasaki one?" They're like, "Nah, just go to the Tokyo one." I'm like, "Okay." I didn't know any better. So I went to the Tokyo one down in Shinagawa, where all dreams go to die. Should call it Shinigami, to be honest. So I went down to that joint, and at the time, they weren't letting people into the building. They because obviously the you-know-what was pretty new. And so they were letting people in on like a queue basis. So there's a lot of people, and keep in mind this was December. This was like dead of winter. And yeah, it's Tokyo and it doesn't get super cold, but it's cold enough to be sitting out there waiting. And I was just looking out at the line. It was just a bunch of people with like fucking blankets and shit, looking like they're waiting in line at the soup kitchen. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And so apparently it was, I kind of gathered that it was like a queue. They had to wait your turn, and it was this very slow moving line. I'm like, fuck me, bro, this shit's way too much. So I went online to look for another immigration place, and they found one that's a bit closer to where I'm at in Tachikawa, which is further west in Tokyo. So I went to there, and obviously I didn't have to wait outside in line for the soup kitchen. Get to go inside like a normal human. Sugoi. And then talking with the guy, he spoke like a little bit of English. So he told me that basically the Tachikawa office is not in my jurisdiction, and that I should do it based on where I live and not where my school is based. So I'm like, oh, shit, okay. So I ended up going to the one where it's not right where I live, but it's in my, it's the one that's within my jurisdiction, I guess. Whatever that's called. Anyway, so I went to this place, and this is by far the most convenient immigration office I've ever been to in my life. Because the one in Shinagawa was the fucking soup kitchen line where you had to go to like kind of by the docks in Shinagawa. So you had to like get on the train, and you had to like walk your happy ass like I think it was like 2 or 3 kilometers. It's a pretty far walk. So you had to walk your happy ass from there and get in line for the soup kitchen. And then the one in Tachikawa, you had to walk like 1 or 2 kilometers in the middle of fucking BFE, fucking Super Inaka, to this office that's just in the middle of fucking nowhere, and do that. But my actual immigration office, and again, don't want to dox myself, so I'm not going to say exactly where it's at, but I will say that it is right across from this train station. So I literally just get off the train, go past all the shops and all that kinds of shit, literally go across the street, look to the left, bam, it's right there. No waiting in line at the soup kitchen, fucking walk in. Yeah, there's a little horseshoe line for when it's busy, but you just walk in, you hand them your shit. They speak kind of sort of English, a little more than the Tachikawa office, but not as much as like the Tokyo office. But you just go there, they get your paperwork and shit all sorted, and it's just bam boom, easy day. Just fucking waddle my happy ass to McDonald's to celebrate, get on the train and head back home. It was so fucking easy. And I'm like, bro, fuck living in Tokyo. Fuck that shit. Fuck all of that. Like, for me, Tokyo is a great place to visit, but I don't want to live there. You know, like I said, it's great for content. The majority of my friends live either in Tokyo or around Tokyo. It's a great little hub for everybody to kind of go to and meet up. But as far as living there, nah, fuck that shit. Nah, I ain't about that life. Literally, I'm not about that life. And in fairness, there are some nice parts of Tokyo, as some people have pointed out to me. But for the most part, I'd rather just visit or work in Tokyo and live elsewhere. So that's my deal on that joint. So yeah, guys, I think that's a pretty good stopping point for now. We've been going on an hour 40 at this point, and I think that's a pretty darn good test stream for the new setup. So I definitely appreciate all y'all coming out for this and helping me get all this shit sorted. Definitely want to do more content, more live streams, all that kinds of stuff in the future. But for now, I'm just finishing up school. Yeah, the next stream, I don't really have it that one in particular planned out. This is just kind of an impromptu thing. But like I said, right now for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be finishing up school. So I'm going to be working on like finals and graduating and all that fun stuff. So once that's all sorted, then I want to sort of put together a more consistent upload schedule. So we're going to be doing more consistent uploads, streams, things like that, especially now that I got the setup all set up. Definitely want to do more of that. But for now, it'll just kind of be TBD. So be sure to... I can't call myself a YouTuber if I don't do this shit, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell for updates on future live streams and shit. So, okay. But yeah, so just... turn the notifications on to get notified and all that YouTuber stuff. But I'd say best guess would be I want to do these at least once a week, depending on schedule and everything like that. But I do like doing the live streams. I also want to try doing more like IRL streams as well, just having my phone out and about for a couple hours. Obviously pending weather. Today isn't exactly a good day for that because it's thunderstorms and shit. So that's why we're indoors. But yeah, just got a lot of good plans up ahead. Just gotta do a little graduating, and then we'll get to the good stuff. So anyway, with all that said, guys, this is Andy. Signing for now, and as always, forever, we'll see you. I gotta wind this up because the camera's a bit further away. So we'll see you next time. Catch you later, guys. Bye.